There's a moment in every successful business where the owner stops selling and the market starts pulling. It's the moment where people stop needing to be convinced and they start asking, how do I get this? And it feels like magic, but it's not magic. It's architecture. And when you get it right, it feels like you're printing money on demand. Now, I call this moment the irresistible offer. This is step two in my 9 step roadmap to building a $10 million information business. And I'll be honest with you, if you don't get this step right, nothing else really matters. Not your content, not your funnel, not your ads, not your email list. Because if your offer isn't irresistible, you're not building a business. You're just shouting into a void. Now, most creators are stuck in what I call the shouting trap. Here's what that looks like. They spend weeks, sometimes months building a course. They pour their knowledge into it. They make it valuable by adding more content, more modules, and more bonuses. Then they launch it, and then nothing happens. No sales, no traction, silence. So what do? They say, I need more traffic, but traffic was never the problem. The problem is they built something the market didn't ask for. They're guessing. They're selling information in a world that only pays for implementation. Now, I'll say this much real quick to reinforce why an offer is where you need to spend so much time. It's not just because it's foundational, but if you get it right, traffic is not a problem. Offers that are succeeding in the market, their conversion rates are higher, their funnels operate better, and affiliates actually look for them as partners to go ahead and promote your product to get commissions. Remember, having an email list is just a distribution system. And most distribution systems are looking for products that they can sell on margin and they can profit by. If you look at grocery stores, if you look at Walmart, or if you look at Target, or if you look at, any of the big retail chains, most of those products in those stores are not theirs. They are somebody else's, and they buy it from them wholesale and they sell it in the market, their distribution system, and they keep the margin. Keep that in mind. Now, every time you sell information versus the actual implementation or the result, every time this happens, you end up paying what's called a guessing tax. And that translates into lost time, lost money, lost momentum. Now, in my own Road to $10 million project, I am not going to shout at the market. I'm not going to even convince people. I'm not going to even chase demand. I'm going to architect it. I build what I call mechanisms, systems that the market is already desperate to buy. This is what I call the Federal Reserve mindset. Think about it. The Federal Reserve doesn't ask for money, they create it. In the same way, when your offer is built correctly, you don't chase sales. Sales come to you. Now, the secret behind all of this is something I call the psychic offer match. This is when your offer aligns so perfectly with what your customer already wants that buying feels inevitable. There's no resistance, no friction, and there's no need for convincing. Just have them thinking that this is exactly what I've been looking for. But here's the problem. Most people are trying to sell solutions to problems that audience doesn't even know that they have. And if you do that, you're already in the water. You have to find what I call the invisible buy button. Now, this already exists in the mind of your ideal customer. Your job is not to create demand, though. It's to connect to it. So let's break this down. This is how you build an irresistible offer. Step one, identify the silent screen. Every market has one. A problem that people are desperate to solve, but they're not talking about openly. It's not the obvious problem. It's the real one underneath. In other places, I have talked about the I don't know what I don't know principle when it comes approaching a market. This is an example of that. Most people think they know what their problem is, but they're not really aware of what their real problem is, what they're really trying to achieve. And it's your job to help articulate that to them in their language where it activates that invisible buy button. Now, for example, people just don't want to make money online. They want to feel in control again. They want to prove they still have it. They want to escape feeling stuck. That's the silent screen. If you miss this, nothing else works. Step two, architect the transformation. Now, this is where most people fail. They think they're selling information, knowledge, or content, You're not. You're selling a result. You're selling a transformation, a before and after. Your offer should not feel like a course. It should feel like a shortcut, a system, a workhorse, something that does the heavy lifting for them. Because your audience doesn't want to learn. They want to arrive. Now, step 3, wrap all of this in an irresistible offer. Now we take that transformation and we package it in a way that makes the result feel certain, fast, easy to say yes to. This is where your pricing, your bonuses, your positioning, your messaging, they all come together to work as a team. And the goal is simple. Make the decision, make them feel like it's stupid to say no, not through hype, but through alignment. Now, here's where YouTube comes in my grand strategy for things. YouTube is not my business, but it is the fuel. It is the traffic source. If you go back to the inaugural video, there were 3 pillars that I was going to build this channel on and its content, and one of those was traffic. The fuel then is the videos. They drive attention, they bring people into my ecosystem, it builds brand awareness, and the real engine, the thing that makes money, is the offer. If the offer is weak, more traffic just means more people ignoring you. But if your offer is strong, every view becomes an asset. So regardless of whatever your traffic source is, keep this in mind. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you already have a product or service, or you're thinking about launching one, you need to run an offer audit. Ask yourself, do you have a psychic offer match, or are you just shouting at the market? Because if you don't fix this, nothing else will save you. Now, I put something together for you. It's the exact system I'm using to build my own $10 million business. It's called the 9-step EverFlow roadmap. It starts with auditing your offer and rebuilding it into something the market actually wants. Now, click the link in the description area or in the first comment section in the comments section area, and you can download it for free. Now, this is the road to $10 million project. It's not about getting lucky. It's about getting it right, building evergreen systems that work because they're aligned with human nature. Now, if this resonated with you, please hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below. I am an architect, and I'll see you in the next video.